Hi guys, it's me Val Toxic Free. Welcome. Happy Monday. Today I just want to chat about something. I just want to say a few things. This is through experience. Again, most of my videos are through things I've experienced, through my insight, through things that I've gone through, or fact. I'm not a life coach, as we all know, and but recently, obviously, there's been a few situations that I want to talk about. Life coaches. Oh, strange. There are some good life coaches. I just want to say that, and we'll get that out now. There are some very, 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 very good life coaches. And what I want to do with the next few videos, this video and a few more videos coming up, is just talk about how I can hopefully help you and give you the tools to keep aware and help you decipher between the good and the bad. See, there is a difference between a bad life coach and a predatory, narcissistical, psychopath, sociopathic life coach. A lot of videos that you watch that tell you how to keep safe, or tell you how to find a good therapy, or find a good life coach. They'll give you information, but it's great information, but it's information on bad, unprofessional life coaches. There's lots of details that will give you advice on going to look at their review page, having a look at their, making sure they've got a certificate, stuff like that. But when you come to a narcissist, predatory, sociopathic, psychopathic life coach, that's where the problems begin, and that's where it gets really, really hard to work out the difference between bad and just plain psychotic. See, the new type of life coach, well, let's just say, okay, let's change that, the new type of narcissist. What's happened in the past is they've kind of been outside of YouTube. They've hurt us out there, and then as survivors have come into YouTube to look for help. And that's kind of how it's been for a long time, I think. I mean, I've only been on for 2 years, but whether anybody else has noticed this is what I've noticed. And I think what's happening is we're all being so highly educated on narcissism that them out there are being beaten by us. We know their traits, we know what to look out for, we know the red flags, we're getting clever, and we're turning into little empath warriors. So they have to find a new camouflage, and that new camouflage is coming within to this community, coming within, putting on a new camouflage, being an imposter. And they're now portraying themselves as life coaches. So not only are they out there hurting you, when you come into this community to get help, it's like they're running from the outside, opening the door of the office, sitting behind the desk and going, "Oh, hello, how can I help you?" It's the very same person outside that is now helping you inside, where you thought it was safe and you thought it was a good place, decent place, and an empathic place and a caring place to be. Narcissists will get everywhere. There's no one on the door of YouTube saying, if your name's not down, you're not getting in. No one can do that. No one can tell you not to do a channel, make a channel up. There's no regulations in YouTube necessarily. There's no regulations in life coaching. So they're coming in to our territory, and they're camouflaging themselves as narcissist life coaches. They're taking our time, they're taking our trust, they're taking our empathy, and they're taking our money. Just like our boyfriends, exes, bosses, all the narcissists that we saw outside, they did the same. They took our trust, our time, our empathy, our love, and our money. And now the life coaches in this arena are doing exactly the same. They are watching the videos just like us. They're learning just like us. And now they are being on the other end of Skype to, let's see, how can I put words? To abuse us further. They play the victim. They play the person that's been through just the same as us, but then they'll upgrade to a life coach, because that way they can get their ego, their supply, and the money all at the same time. So these videos I'm going to do over the next few weeks are going to be about this kind of situation. They'll again learn how to manipulate better, learn what we're looking for, they'll learn how to be the most perfect life coach. They'll learn how to be the best false Samaritan.
They're all for the praise, acknowledgement, adulation, the admiration. This is all about selfishly gaining for themselves and positioning themselves to have control and power. They are studying and watching and learning just as the same as you are, because they are able to get so much information that they can literally customize another character that flies under the radar, right? The narcissist can then create a character that can be seen as safe. This is what sucks you in. This is what gets you to be like, wow, this person is really, they go all out. They've been studying everything, all the information that is out there currently about narcissists. That's all they do, really. They find ways to blend in to where their behavior is not so easily recognizable to the general masses. They have to create the illusion so you see, wow, this person really does and they do for me, and they help out, they go the extra mile. That's the setup. So infiltrating and disguising themselves to appear just as common or just as normal as everyone else, because that's all they are, as imposters. This again is an illusion. What they're showing you is all an act, and this is one of the tactics they use, because it can, someone's effort into something can be so deceptive, because visually, the appearance of it looks as though it's very engaging, it's very committed. But beneath that, beneath the surface of that, there's things that's only for their personal gain. Never mind the appearance. Never mind the effort that it looks like they put out. Narcissists have no loyalty to anything but themselves. This thing of the narcissist being a do-gooder, a good Samaritan, person, is completely fake. Trust me, the minute they come across something better, or if you cross them in a certain way, they will sabotage whatever you're doing. They will turn on you in the blink of an eye. And all that nice, good Samaritan, do-gooder type of person goes straight out the window. There's nothing genuine about them or what they're doing. Okay, and the first chance they get to fuck you, they will fuck you up.
So, the reason I used that footage was, obviously I'm not a life coach. Now, you don't have to believe anything I say, because I don't have clout, as they say. I'm only a subscriber, I'm only a survivor, I'm only the same as you that are watching this, but the only difference is that I am stupid enough to sit and talk in front of a camera. I've got a big mouth. And that's why I used that clip of ASSC Direct Quinn, which I'm going to put the links to those two videos that I got those clips from underneath, because obviously I'm not going to use somebody's clips if I'm not going to actually, advertise them. What he said there, you can say the same about me, because obviously I'm trying to be a Samaritan, a good Samaritan. I'm trying to help. I'm portraying myself as a good person. So, you may not trust me neither, but this is what I'm saying. It's so difficult to trust people in this community. I'm seeing more and more channels that I'm finding a bit iffy. So, when I want to talk about the difference between a bad life coach, let's just look at a bad life coach first of all, like a bad person. Bad person, a bad life coach. Generally, you can see who they are straight away. A bad person is just somebody that's very rude, probably, that's arrogant, that's toxic, that doesn't turn up when you want them to, doesn't text you back, which is the same as, some narcissists later on after the love bombing stage. But a bad person, you can generally see a bad person's a bad person on the surface. If this bad person is going to create a channel for a life coach business, they're going to have bad reviews. They're going to have like very little stars. They might not even have a certificate. They might fail on lots of things that kind of give you an inkling. Now, a narcissist, psychopathic life coach who've got nerve, who've got no remorse, no empathy, and they're just out for themselves. As we know, narcissists will portray themselves as perfect. If you're going to make a narcissist life coach channel, you're going to do it the bloody best that you can. Why? Because you need to keep your mask on. You need to be the best person you can be, like our exes were. When we first dated them or married them, they were the best people. My ex-boyfriend, Stumpy, was the best boyfriend I'd ever had until he decided to devalue me and went through that stage. So they're going to portray themselves as the most perfect. They're going to give you the best information. They're going to surround themselves in props. They're going to come onto YouTube and they're going to look like the part. They're going to look like what they're supposed to be. They're going to come across really, really well. That's what a narcissist is. Now, just because these people give you a lot of really good information that you can find out on Google, on Psychology Today, what their information is coming from is YouTube and Google. Very, very little of it is coming from their experience. Because their experience as a victim is just a ploy to get you to trust them. The fact that if they think they're a victim, they're probably a victim of reactionary abuse. They're probably a victim of their partners abusing them back, being nasty to them back, crying and doing things back to them in a reaction. So that's probably where they're getting that we are abused, I'm a victim. They're not a victim. So that's the difference. Also, they will have the best reviews. A bad life coach will probably have bad reviews. A narcissistic life coach will have fantastic reviews. Why? Because they've got to keep it up. And the time that they put into their channel, they're getting just as much back. The time and effort that they go into making their videos is worth it because they're getting bloody good payment back. They're getting the ego, they're getting the supply, they're getting the adoration, and they're getting the money. They don't want to fail. We know narcissists will keep their mask on as long as they can. And with narcissists on YouTube, they've got an ever-flowing feed, an ever-flowing, buffet. And when they do discard the odd people that do not go along with their narrative, and when they do discard or ghost people, when they don't go along or they disagree with them, or maybe they're just no rapport, or maybe they just know that they're no good for them, or maybe they're not going to pay a lot of money, or maybe they're not going to take a lot of sessions on and they're not going to gain a lot, they'll just discard them. But the difference between somebody who's been discarded by a narcissist and someone who's been cheated on, treated badly by just a bad life coach, the people with bad life coaches will complain. They'll write a bad review. They'll spread the word. But people with bad narcissist life coach, they're already in that black hole. They've gone for help to this person because they doubt themselves, because they feel that they're the ones, because they have no strength and they've been downtrodden and made to feel worthless, and that they know that when you bump into a narcissist, you go no contact. And they may have seen other people being bullied by them. They may have seen other people who've maybe stood up for themselves be bullied. So the best that these people do is they walk away and they let their money go and they walk away. And they walk away thinking that they're the ones that have done bad, that maybe that life coach was okay, but maybe it's me. Maybe I'm so bad that even my life coach hates me. And these victims stay quiet. So the only thing that you see when you want to research a life coach is fantastic reviews. You see 5 stars continuously coming up on their channel. You see nothing. And when you do see the odd bad review, there's so many good ones, it just must be them. We don't use our education to factors that might be something wrong with this person because we still believe that people are good. We still think, wow, he's fabulous though. I learned so much from him. He saved my life. It's a Russian roulette with these people. 90% of the people And the clients that go with narcissistic life coaches get away scot-free with no scars. I don't think that they end up perfectly as good if they'd gone with a good life coach, because a lot of life coaches, they should give you the tools to find the strength and empower yourself. A lot of narcissist life coach will give you their opinion and they'll tell you and give you advice. But that advice is coming from a dark place. That advice isn't coming from empathy. That advice isn't coming from morality or ethics. That advice is just coming from them. And if they're poisonous inside, that poisonous is probably coming out within their opinions. And if you don't like their opinions and you say something to them, then you get discarded and you get threatened. And you feel scared that you can't stick up for yourself because you've been told, go no contact, go no contact. Always go no contact with a narcissist. And we know that nobody believes us because these narcissist life coach have built up over time such a great audience, such big subscription lists. And the big subscribers, the big amount of subscribers they've got is like the emperor's new clothes, where everybody's looking in that direction, but they don't really quite know what they're looking at. And everybody kind of goes, oh, well, they're all there. There must be something good here, so they sign up. Then other people go, oh, he's got lots and lots of people there, lots of people subscribing. He must be good, so they join up. It's like if I stand in the street and point up to the ceiling or the roof of a house and just stand and point, I'll start getting joined by other people. And everybody will stand and point. Before you know it, you can walk away and you've got a big crowd of people just watching, but they don't quite know what they're looking at. It's like an empty coffee shop. You could con your friends into coming to drink there every day. It could be a really bad coffee shop. But if your coffee shop's full of people, it's going to draw more people in. Doesn't mean it's a good coffee shop. Strange, but true. So this is what happens with these narcissist life coaches. They will do the damnedest. They will do their best. They will portray an image of perfection, and they will give you the advice that you want so that you adore them and you love them and you support them and you follow them and you sign up and you subscribe to them and you rave about them because they're fantastic. But it's a Russian roulette. For all those hundreds of people that he's actually treating really, really well, or she, there's going to be the one, the two, the three that get discarded but are too damn scared to support themselves. See, people in this business, they're ruthless. They're business people. They're great at marketing. They're great at portraying the image. They're great at surrounding themselves in the right things. They're great at selling themselves. They're also probably great at buying subscribers and buying views, which we know a lot of channels do. And that's another thing. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on this one. I've said enough. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with doing videos on this subject. Now, whether you like the fact that I'm doing this, whether you're a life coach out there and you get offended by me doing this, well, if you're not narcissistical, if you're a good life coach, then you have no problem. But I'm tired of watching this, and I'm tired of having experience with this kind of thing myself and through other people. And if you don't like what I'm doing, well, that says more about you than actually about me. Because what's your motive about not liking me or what I'm doing? If you're a survivor of abuse and you're in this community, I'm sure that you would appreciate somebody supporting you and warning you about the pitfalls in this community and warning you that there is people out there that will take advantage of you. Well, you might even think, well, you know, why doesn't she just start helping subscribers more? Why doesn't she just stop with all the moaning about life coaches and just go back to what she used to do, and which is helping the subscribers to heal, educate them? Why does she keep on going about these life coaches? It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. What is the point of shutting the barn door after the horse has bolted, as the saying goes? Why not try and fix the source rather than just the result? So what, the more people that come and get hurt by these coaches, do we have to fix those? Or can we just try and point at the bad coaches and try and stop the actual source of what's happening and the actual source of that's creating more and more abuse victims? So no, I'm not going to ignore anything that goes on in this community. I'm not going to ignore life coaches that are using their traits and their greed and their grandiose to think that they can come amongst us and use weak people that have suffered from PTSD and that are suffering from just the abuse that they've suffered at the hands of narcissists in their family or their husbands and boyfriends and girlfriends. They come in here and be abused by life coaches? No. I would like to go back to the channel that I used to be. I will go back to the channel that I used to be, which is just helping the survivors. But I'm helping the survivors this way too. So again, if people think I should just shut up and go back to being quiet little Val, just start talking about gaslighting and traits and red flags and top 5 ways of beating a narcissist, yeah, great. But that doesn't help anybody who's suffering at the hands of life coaches, who's paid them money, that leaves this community with more pain and more suffering because of them, when they actually came here thinking they were going to get help. Because when the truth comes out and these life coaches are actually exposed in the end, there's going to be thousands and thousands of people out there. They're going to think, holy shit, I've just been screwed again. And the amount of pain that is going to be, that's going to be left, is going to be so much more. Because people will lose trust in everybody if they can't trust a life coach that's portraying an image of, I'm a victim, I've been there, I'll help you, just pay me first. When the truth gets out, the pain of these people that have put their faith, their heart and their money again in someone, and again has paid somebody, the very type of people that have abused them in the first place. Yeah, you can get great information of these people, but I think most would like a choice. They'd like to know where the information comes from. Some people don't care. Some people think, doesn't bother me if you're a narcissist, he gives me good information, that's all I care about. Well, that's fine, that's your choice. But deceit by omission is the worst, because if you're not admitting what you are, or no one's telling you, do you realise you're paying a narcissist? Do you realise that you've got a narcissist who's giving you advice? They'd probably not like it at all. Yeah, Vaknin and H.D. Tudor, fine, we know who they are. We accept. They're in the open. But no, I won't be quiet and let these coaches hurt more people. Hurt people that are already hurt. So please be careful. So the next few videos I'm actually going to give you the tools so that you're responsible for yourselves and you know exactly what's going on. So can I just say thank you for everybody who supported me so far, and if you are interested, I don't normally say to you sub to me, but if you want to know what's going on and how to keep safe in this community, just sub. Click the little bell and then you'll get notified of my next videos. So guys, please stay safe out there. Again, the people out there in the world are now infiltrating this community, so we have to take care of ourselves and each other. So please stay toxic free. Bye bye.